Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, 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 Gauranitai Siti Gauranitai, Gauranitai Siti Gauranitai, Gauranitai Siti Gauranitai, Gauranitai Siti Gauranitai. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Pascharya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. तो सभी welcome all the devotees for again in the Srimad Bhagavatam session today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Rattama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Vindaya Hare. So welcome all the devotees again. for today's Srimad Bhagavatam session. So, can some devotees tell some points from last session? You are able to hear now? Audio clear? Voice is clear, no?
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
So some devotees can tell now.
Yes, Prabhuji.
What you remember, we'll see now. Do you remember something? Blank?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Ah.
Prabhuji, like you mentioned one point, like sadhuvad. What is sadhuvad? So that is sadharma pricha, and also like for every shloka we should write down what is the preaching application, personal application, and theological application. And so like the kshatriya must protect women, children, old men, cows, and brahmanas.
Correct. Other devotees?
Also, Prabhuji, you mentioned about Srila Prabhupada's struggle in one of the purport. So when problems comes to devotee, they always take that as an opportunity to grow more in Krishna consciousness, something like that.
Correct. Thank you. Any other devotee? Just I want to know, because 1 week have passed, no? So at least something should be there in the mind. We are looking to what Vidur quitting the Hastinapur from the Dhritarashtra, and now he has begun his journey now. So just giving I am the hint. Questions by Vidura. I think we have not started that. We have only finished till 13 shloka. Okay. Here Duryodhana, Vidur is discussing about Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra's blind attachment. Correct. We have not covered it. Correct. We have not covered when Vidurji, Vidur, he meets Uddhava. We have not. We have covered 13 shloka. Anushbu, you are there? Who has, anybody has taken note? Note. As far as my knowledge, we have covered 13 shlokas.
Yes, Prabhuji, 13 श्लोका से स्टार्ट करना है.
कहाँ से 13 के 14?
13 से स्टार्ट करना है, 12 तक हुआ था.
हाँ, ठीक है. So कोई डिवोटी शेयर करो. स एष दोष पुरुषद्विडास्ते गृहान् प्रविष्टो यमपत्यमत्या उष्णासि कृष्णान् विमुखो गतश्री. I think everybody was supposed to chant, no? Sorry. So I will wait for the devotees now. But everybody also has to chant.
Give 1 minute, I will share the screen.
हो गया?
एक मिनट जाओ. Recording.
मेरा नेटवर्क गया था क्या प्रभु? अरे बोल, कैन यू हियर नाउ? ऐसा क्यों हुआ? So can you now let's recite actually. You share also because everybody should have the book. Everybody should chant. Sa esha dosha purusha vidaste. सभी को बोलना है.
दोषा पुरुषा द्वेदस्ते
गृहान प्रविष्टो यमपत्यमत्या नास्ति कृष्ण विमुखो गतश्री यजा शैवं कुलकौशलाय number see now what is mentioned here. Okay, let's read the what is mentioned here. This is the 13th sloka na. So dosha aste. Okay, yama apatya maya pushnasi saesha dosha purushah dvid grihan pravishta aste and Krishna vimukha strigata aishwarshvam kulakaushala tyaja. तो ये क्या बोल रहे हैं कि देखो आप जिसको आपका पुत्र बोल के पाल रहे हो ना, वो पापी मनुष्य है. क्या है? सएष दोष है वो. और वो पुरुष मतलब भगवान पुरुष की क्या करता है? वो द्वेष करता है.
प्रभु जी का फ्रीज हो गया क्या?
Yeah, looks like some issue, network issue at Prabhu's side.
हरे कृष्णा डिवोटीज, जब तक प्रभु जी आ रहे, नेक्स्ट संडे हमारा भक्ति वैभव यूनिट 9 एग्जाम है एंड मंडे इज गौर पूर्णिमा, सो प्लीज प्लान योर सर्विसेज अकॉर्डिंगली. I hope devotees are okay with it. Like they have.
प्रभु जी सैटरडे को करना है तो सैटरडे भी कर सकते हैं.
So unit 9 closed book exam. Earlier we had planned for 17th tomorrow, then we postponed. I message it is on 24th.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yes.
And shloka test?
तो ये श्लोका टेस्ट मार्च एंड में रहेगा या फिर अप्रैल फर्स्ट वीक.
Thank you.
एंड प्रेजेंटेशंस जब भी होगा उसे 1 महीने पहले बताया जाएगा. मतलब अभी 2-3 महीने के लिए पोस्टपोन हुआ है. मतलब थर्ड कैंटो का तो जी ने बोला कि 4-5 यूनिट एटलीस्ट, 4-5 यूनिट नहीं, मतलब 2-3 यूनिट और कवर करेंगे उसके बाद.
क्या हुआ?
Can you hear me now? Haribol? Haribol?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
मेरा
Yes.
नेटवर्क का इशू है, सॉरी. अभी मैं करता हूँ. पता नहीं क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है. Now it will not happen. Okay. So what he is telling, because Chanakya says that Prabhupada also mentions that for one country you can sacrifice one village. For one village, you can sacrifice one family, and for one family, you can sacrifice for one person. So now that will be told in the person. Okay. The person can read, the devotee who is there. Whosoever has a number one, please can you read it so that we can go ahead. पढ़ रहे हैं? नंबर वन कौन है?
आनंद मंत्र. You are maintaining offense personified Duryodhan as your infallible son, but he is envious of Lord Krishna. And because you are thus maintaining non-devotee of Krishna, you are devoid of all auspicious qualities. Relieve yourself of this ill fortune as soon as possible, and do good to the whole family. मुझे purport पढ़ो.
हाँ पढ़ो पढ़ो.
Purport. A good son is called apatya, one who does not allow his father to fall down. The son can protect the father's soul when the father is dead by offering sacrifices to please the Supreme Lord Vishnu. This system is still prevalent in India. After the death of his father, a son goes to offer sacrifice at the lotus feet of Vishnu at Gaya and thus delivers the father's soul if the father is fallen. But if the son is already an enemy of Vishnu, how in such an inimical mood can he offer sacrifice unto Lord Vishnu's lotus feet? Lord Krishna is directly the personality of Godhead Vishnu, and Duryodhan was inimical to him. He would therefore be unable to protect his father Dhritarashtra after his death. He himself was to fall down because of his faithlessness towards Vishnu. How then could he protect his father? Vidura advised Dhritarashtra to get rid of such an unworthy son as Duryodhan as soon as possible if he was at all anxious to see the good of his family. According to the moral instructions of Chanakya Pandit, what is the use of a son who is neither a learned man nor a devotee of the Lord? If a son is not a devotee of the Supreme Lord, he is just like blind eyes, a source of trouble. A physician may sometimes advise the extrication of such useless eyes from their sockets so that one can be relieved of the constant trouble. Duryodhan was exactly like blind, troubling eyes. He would be source of great trouble to the family of Dhritarashtra as foreseen by Vidura. Vidura therefore rightly advised his eldest brother to get rid of this source of trouble. Dhritarashtra was wrongly maintaining such personified offense under the mistaken impression that Duryodhan was a good son able to liberate his father.
So here, one should quickly give the things which are not good for our spiritual life. ऐसा मैंने note लिखा है. And no relationship with the enemies of Krishna. Where if you keep the enemy of Krishna, you are in trouble. That is a very dangerous attachment. And we should immediately, we should never hesitate to give it up. Otherwise, then we will be in big trouble. Now here, if you see, entire Vansha of him is finished now. Whose Vansha? Duryodhana's Vansha is finished. If he would have given up this person who is envious, then there was no problem, है ना? But टाइम पे नहीं किया, इसलिए उनकी इंस्ट्रक्शन है किसके? मॉरल इंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ द विदुर नीति, that immediately त्याग करना चाहिए ऐसे व्यक्ति का, बिल्कुल उसके लिए ये नहीं करना चाहिए. और नॉट ओनली वस्तु का त्याग, बट चीजों का भी त्याग करना हमें. जो भी हमें लग रहा है कि दिस इज नॉट फेवरेबल फॉर कृष्ण कॉन्शियस, immediately give it up. Otherwise what happen, we will be in the trouble. और इसमें एक होलिनेस रोमपाद महाराज ने एक लेक्चर दिया था कि आप में से कितने लोग बोलते कि आपकी एक भी भौतिक इच्छा नहीं है. है कि नहीं?
है।
प्रभु जी आती जाती रहती है, पता नहीं चलता।
ऑनेस्टली मेरे भी है, आपके छोड़िए, सबके है, झूठ नहीं बोलना। तो इम्पोर्टेंट क्या है कि हाँ हाँ ये धृतराष्ट्र की भौतिक इच्छा और ध्रुव महाराज की भौतिक इच्छा, आपको पता है किसकी ज्यादा भौतिक इच्छा थी?
धृतराष्ट्र की।
धृतराष्ट्र की ज्यादा नहीं थी, सोच समझ के बोलिए
नहीं
आप।
बराबर है, ध्रुव महाराज के बराबर ज्यादा थी, because he wanted a kingdom bigger than his grandfather also.
Kingdom bigger than even
Brahma.
his great grandfather, that is Lord Brahma जी। सोचिए आप, नॉट नॉर्मल किंगडम। धृतराष्ट्र को तो एक छोटा सा राज्य चाहिए था, बरोबर है, उसको ज्यादा नहीं चाहिए था, लेकिन फिर भी ध्रुव महाराज की इच्छा पूरी हो गई, उसकी पूरी क्यों नहीं हुई? कोई बोल सकता है? रोमपाद महाराज ने काफी बड़ा लेक्चर दिया था, सिंपल एंड वन लाइन में बोलता हूँ, because Dhruva Maharaj followed the pure devotee of Krishna, Narad Muni, and Dhritarashtra was associating with the non-devotee of Krishna. That's all. Simple. Simple. Dhritarashtra, this was very insignificant. बस एक कुरुक्षेत्र का राज्य था। ध्रुव महाराज को तो क्या राज्य चाहिए था, ब्रह्मा जी से ऊपर से, but he followed the pure devotee of Krishna, therefore he got everything. He got everything. And Dhritarashtra did not get even this kingdom, and everything is finished. Clear? So that is very important for this verse.
One question can be asked, that he made like, if he would have opposed Duryodhana would be like Aurangzeb, and he would have imprisoned Dhritarashtra Maharaj. Can we say that?
No, he cannot, because Duryodhana was not king. Dhritarashtra was king.
No. He would have
Pitama
overruled.
Bhishma. Pitama Bhishma is on the side of Dhritarashtra, na? And he is always on the side of the king. Whosoever is on the Gaddi, na, so nobody can do anything to him. Even Pandava.
Bhishma was all powerful.
And what to speak of Bhishma? If Dhritarashtra says, I am removing this, and he asks the help of Yudhishthira, Yudhishthira will help him. Na? Why Yudhishthira? No. So he cannot do anything. He cannot do. Okay. So shall we go ahead? Next. Ityuchivastatra suyodhanena taruddhakopaspurita asatkataspas. And now I am only reading, because when you are reading, you have to read with me only. Asatkata saspuraniya shila shatta sakarnaju saubalena. मैं अकेला क्यों पढ़ रहा हूँ, तो फिर समझ जा रहा है। ओके, अब ये सब कौन सुन रहा है? दुर्योधन सुन रहा है। हाँ, जब ये विदुर जी बता रहे तो दुर्योधन थोड़ी छोड़ने वाला है, तो गुस्सा हो रहा है। हाँ, इत्युचिवास तत्र सुयोधने ना, ऐसा कहने पर दुर्योधन, बाप रे बाप, उनका असत्कृत तिरस्कार किया। क्रोध स्फुरित कोप प्रोद अधरे ना, उसके होठ अधर मतलब कैसे कांप रहे कि भाई हमारे घर में रह के आप मुझे ये कर रहे, क्योंकि वो यहाँ पे प्रभुपाद जी बोलते, he was in company of अनुज दुशासन सकर्ण और सौ बलेना मामा शकुनी के साथ, तो इसलिए उसको कभी भी अच्छा इंस्ट्रक्शन कुछ काम का ही नहीं, क्योंकि वो चांडाल चौकड़ी के साथ रह रहा है, तो कितना भी अच्छा इंस्ट्रक्शन देंगे तो इतना फायदा होने वाला नहीं। अब इसका परपट पढ़िए नेक्स्ट डिवोटी जो भी क्विकली।
Yes, Prabhu. It is said that giving good counsel to a foolish person causes the fool to become angry, just as feeding milk to a snake only increases its venomous poison. Saint Vidura was so honorable that his character was looked up to by all respectable persons. But Duryodhan was so foolish that he dared to insult Vidura. This was due to his bad association with Shakuni, his maternal uncle, as well as with his friend Karna, who always encouraged Duryodhan in his nefarious acts.
So bad association, and therefore he was not able to take care of even honor the great people like Vidura because of bad association. How bad association is so dangerous. Even Dhritarashtra is also good. He likes Vidura, but we were also in bad association of these four people, and that because of that you are not able to apply the instruction of Vidura. Dhritarashtra knew that Vidura is my well-wisher. So similarly, when we are in an association of bad things, bad people, even though we know everything good, we will not able to act upon that. In Marathi they say, "Kalte pan walat nahi." That yes, you are knowing that everything is good, but still what? You will not able to apply in your own life. Because as long as you are in the bad people association, bad thing, bad object, everything, whatever is opposing to Krishna consciousness, you will not able to get that power. Now here Dhritarashtra has everything, but still he is not able to. Therefore, association matters. One cannot say that I can live very lavishly also, and still, well, lavishly means not that normal, the basic thing. But everybody knows that what is the problem with him. हमें किसी को पूछने की आवश्यकता नहीं. हमको सबको पता है कि मेरे लिए क्या आसक्ति है और मुझे वो कैसे बाधा कर रही है. तो ये हमें जानना चाहिए. नेक्स्ट चलो, गो अहेड. हाँ, क एनम अत्रो वजुहाव जव्वम दास्या सुतम. सभी बोलेंगे तो अच्छा है मेरे साथ ही. दास्या सुतम यद अनिलेव पुष्टः तस्मिन् प्रतीपा अभी दुर्योधन के कड़वे शब्द बाहर आना चालू हो गए. हाँ, वो बोले अभी क्या बोलता है. क एनम मतलब किसने इसको यहाँ पे रखा है. हमने तो बुलाया नहीं. स्कुटिल जीवा दास्या पुत्र, और हमारे सुत यद अनिले व पुष्ट, पुष्टि मिलना, हमारा खाना खा के ये इसका पुष्टि हुआ है. और ये क्या कर रहे हैं. तस्मिन प्रतीपः पर कुत्ते, शत्रु के काम को वो प्रतीप कर रहा है. हाँ, इसलिए क्या करो. शश्वान जीते जी पुरात आशु निर्वास्यताम, निर्वासित करो उसको तुरंत. नगर से केवल उसकी श्वास उसके पास रखो. क्या रखो. श्वास, उसको निकाल दो. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट डिवोटी पढ़ो.
Who asked him to come here? This son of Cape Mistress. He is so wicked that he spies in the interest of the enemy against those on whose support he has grown up. Toss him out of the palace immediately and leave him with only his breath. Purport. When getting married, the Kshatriya kings would take on several other youthful girls along with the married princess. These girls, attendants of the king, were known as dasis or attendant mistresses. By intimate association with the king, the dasis would get sons. Such sons were called dasiputras. They had no claim to a royal position, but they would get maintenance and other facilities just like prince. Vidura was son of such dasi, and he was thus not counted among the Kshatriyas. King Dhritarashtra was very affectionate towards his younger Dasiputra brother, Vidur, and Vidur was a great friend and philosophical advisor to Dhritarashtra. Duryodhana knew very well that Vidura was a great soul and well-wisher, but unfortunately he used strong words to hurt his innocent uncle. Duryodhana not only attacked Vidura's birth but also called him as infidel because he seemed to support the cause of the Yudhishthira, whom Duryodhana considered his enemy. He desired that Vidura be immediately put out of the palace and deprived of all his possessions. If possible, he would have liked him can until he was left with nothing but his breath. He charged that Vidura was a spy of the Pandavas because he advised King Dhritarashtra in their favor. Such is the situation of the palace life and the intricacies of diplomacy that even a faultless person like Vidura could be charged with something abominable and punished. Vidura was struck with wonder at such unexpected behavior from his nephew Duryodhan, and before anything actually happened, he decided to leave the palace for good.
वाह, ना important है ये. Duryodhana is pointing out the person's weak points. He is not pointing his abilities actually, but his prarabdha, that he is Dasiputra. But that why he should point. And you see his counseling now. So similarly, one should never point out at somebody's background actually. What we should see is his ability. Correct? This is called as a low people who will say, "अरे तुम तो क्या नेकेड पेंचू का स्टोरी है, नेकेड पेंचू." भक्ति सिद्धांत तो ठाकुर बोलते कि एक गांव में एक व्यक्ति रहता था, छोटा बच्चा. अभी छोटे बच्चे कपड़े नहीं पहनते ना, उसको सब नेकेड पेंचू बोलते. अभी वो बड़ा ये बन गया, जज बन गया है, तो लोग बोलते थे वो व्यक्ति का बोलेंगे इनमें ये तो नेकेड पेंचू, उसको सैलरी नहीं मिल रहा हो. देखिए ऐसा है. So now, although he is Dasiputra, but nobody is Dasiputra. By qualification, he has become Brahmana. So shall I tell one wonderful story from Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur? Upakyane Upadesh. Upakyane Upadesh. It is called as a golden stone pot. Golden stone pot. So once one person, he gave one stone pot to one jeweler and told him to put everywhere. He said that I want a golden pot. And I will pay you the money also. He paid money also. He gave actually gold and said, give me the golden pot. Now this person became little greedy. He said, why should I give him golden pot? What he did, he put a stone pot and put gold on that. And he gave him. He said, I want a golden pot. This is not a golden pot. No, it is a golden stone pot. What is this? Golden stone pot. And this person said, what is this golden stone pot? Either stone pot or a golden pot. Similarly, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says that once one becomes a devotee of Krishna, when you say about his background, he is caste ka hai, he is caste ka hai, ye galat hai. Either a Vaishnava or normal person. When somebody becomes Vaishnava, there is nothing like he is a Brahman Vaishnava, this Vaishnava, he is Vaishnava. So either golden or stone. So like that, people mentally doesn't go. The mentality of the people doesn't go. The Duryodhana is like that mentality person. One should not have such mentality. Now he's committing a sinful act against his uncle. Krishna treats every gopa and elderly gopi as his mother, father. He never treats him wrong. And he's his uncle actually. And he's talking like this. So what kind of path he's doing, you see? His life is finished. And now what Prabhupada says now, powerful. The reality of the material world is that everyone is envious. And therefore only shelters Krishna and be ready. Now Viduji is such a great devotee, but still he has to undergo such situation. And therefore we should be ready. Now Viduji saw it as a signal of Krishna. He never saw. He saw, oh, Krishna is calling me now. I should leave this person. So this Bhagavatam is incidences are teaching us so many lessons. Lessons for us also, lessons for others also, how to treat also. Now here only Duryodhana's life is finished because he was envious of the great devotee of the Lord. Here, any question or shall we go ahead? आप लोग लिखो, आपके बुक में लिखना मैं आपको पूछूंगा ऐसा. है ना, मैंने मेरे बुक में इतना भरा हुआ है और बार भरते रहता हूँ. ठीक है, बुक के ऊपर भरना है क्योंकि नोटबुक में कंप्यूटर में मत भरी क्योंकि उसका फायदा नहीं. ऑफकोर्स बाकी आप में से कोई यूज करेगा तो करेंगे. मैंने तो कभी देखा नहीं नोट्स, जो बुक पे वही देखा. स्वयं धनुर्धारी, वाह फेमस श्लोक है. स्वयं धनुर्धार, सबको साथ में बोलना है. स्वयं धनुर्धारी निधाय भक्त्याम भ्रातुर्पुरो मरुस्तादितो स इत्थं समित्थं उल्व्यण कर्ण बाणे गतो दारु बालयानः. So what he is telling now? स मातृपुरः इत्थं कर्ण बाणे, है ना. विदुर जी के भाई धृतराष्ट्र के सामने इस प्रकार क्या हो रहा है, कानों में बाण के समान लगने वाले शब्द किसने बोले हैं? उनके बेटे ने बोले. तो इसलिए अभी गता हुआ था, दुखित हुए नहीं वो. हाँ, माया भगवान की माया है, ऐसा समझ के भगवान की माया कितनी प्रबल है, बट ऐसा मान के धनुष को वहीं पे रख के वो चले गए। वो सोचे कि माया कितनी प्रबल है, external energy of the Lord. Immediately the devotee can read now who is supposed to read. Purport is very important. I want the purport to be read. It's very important. कौन है पढ़ने वाला? पढ़िए। हरि बोल।
A pure devotee of the Lord is never perturbed by an awkward position created by the external energy of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita 3.27, it is stated, Prakriti kriyamanani guna karmani sarvashah ahankara vimuddhatma kartaham iti manyate. A conditioned soul is absorbed in material existence under the influence of different modes of external energy. Absorbed in the false ego, he thinks that he is doing everything by himself. The external energy of the Lord, the material nature, is fully under the control of the Supreme Lord, and the conditioned soul is fully under the grip of the external energy. Therefore, the conditioned soul is fully under the control of the law of the Lord. But due to illusion only, he thinks himself independent in his activities. Duryodhana was acting under such influence of the external nature by which he would be vanquished at the ultimate end. He could not accept the sound advice of Vidura, but on the contrary, he insulted that great soul, who was the well-wisher of his whole family. Vidura could understand this because he was a pure devotee of the Lord. In spite of being very strongly insulted by Duryodhana's words, Vidura could see that Duryodhana, under the influence of Maya, the external energy, was making progress on the path towards his own ruination. He therefore considered the acts of the external energy to be supreme, yet he also saw how the internal energy of the Lord helped him in that particular situation. A devotee is always in a renounced temperament because the worldly attractions can never satisfy him. Vidura was never attracted by the royal palace of his brother. He was always ready to leave the place and devote himself completely to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Now he got the opportunity by the grace of Duryodhana, and instead of being sorry at the strong words of insult, he thanked him from within because it gave him the chance to live alone in a holy place and fully engage in the devotional service of the Lord. The word Gatavyatha, without being sorry, is significant here because Vidura was relieved from the tribulations which trouble every man entangled in material activities. He therefore thought that there was no need to defend his brother with his bow because his brother was meant for ruination. Thus, he left the palace before Duryodhana could act. Maya, the supreme energy of the Lord, acted here both internally and externally.
Okay. So now Vidura got pain also actually. ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं है. Personal. Even Varadev also got pain when Hiranyakashipu was blaspheming. But what is the response that is in? Although Vidura got the pain, but he immediately understood this is a external energy of Maya. Seeing the hand of Krishna, accepting the reverses to improve the condition. Now we have to decide. Duryodhana is acting under the influence of the external energy, and Vidura is acting under the influence of the internal energy. Devotees always, although surrounded by worldly things, ready to leave all. Padma Patra Vamas. Like Vidurji is such an elevated devotee that he was living in such a horrible situation, but he immediately understood, now I have to get out from here. So we can get also affected. ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं है, but हमें right decision लेने आना चाहिए. Devotee is not emotionless. है ना? Emotion है. Actually, the end of the devotion is what? Emotion. Supreme emotion. To develop supreme emotion for Radha Krishna. Shall we go on? Any question? आगे जाएंगे. सन्निर्गतः कौरव पुण्य लब्धो गजाय यात्ता तीर्थ पद पदानि अन्वा कर्म पुण्य चिकीर्षयोर्व्याम अधिष्ठितो यानि सहस्त्रमूर्ति. Okay. Now we'll go wonderful Viduji's journey. है ना? So सन्निर्गतः होता क्या अभी देख. है ना? जैसे कौरव चले गए ना, एक्चुअली विदुर जी के कारण पूरा पुण्य था. उनको गुरु के पुण्य से विदुर जी प्राप्त हुए, लेकिन अभी वो चले गए। हाँ? और अभी कहाँ जा रहे थे? सहस्त्र मूर्ति, बहुत अच्छे से बताया, तीर्थ पदानी, और इसका परपट बहुत पढ़ना हमें, तो इसलिए अभी फास्ट जाएंगे हम। वो अभी तीर्थ पद, मतलब जहाँ भगवान के आने के अनेक विग्रह है वहां चले गए। अभी परपट पढ़े, इसके ऊपर चर्चा करेंगे हम, ट्रांसलेशन और परपट बहुत जरूरी है। किसका डिवोटी का नेक्स्ट आने में पढ़िए।
Vidura was undoubtedly a highly elevated and pious soul. Otherwise, he would not have taken his birth in the Kaurava family. To have high parentage, to possess wealth, to be highly learned, and to have great personal beauty are all due to past pious act. But such pious possessions are not sufficient for obtaining the grace of the Lord, and being engaged considered himself less pious, and therefore he decided to travel to all great places of pilgrimage in the world in order to achieve greater piety and advance nearer to the Lord. At that time, Lord Krishna was personally present in the world, and Vidura could have at once approached him directly, but he did not do so because he was not sufficiently freed from sin. One cannot be 100% devoted to the Lord unless and until he is completely free from all effect of sin. Vidura was conscious that by the association of the diplomatic Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan, he had lost his piety and was therefore not fit to associate at once with the Lord in
मुझे पूरा किया आपने? अरे बोल क्या हुआ?
आगे का नहीं दिख रहा है प्रभु जी।
हाँ हाँ
ये अभी देख
Yeah. In Bhagavad Gita 7.28, it is confirmed in the following verse: Yesham antagata papam jananam punya karmanam te dvanda mohan mukta bhajante mam dridavita. Person who are sinful asuras like Kamsa and Jarasan cannot think of Lord Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead in the absolute truth. Only those who are pure devotees, those who follow the regulative principles of religious life are prescribed in the scriptures, are able to engage themselves in karma yoga and then jnana yoga, and thereafter by pure meditation can understand pure consciousness. When God consciousness is developed, one can take advantage of the association of pure devotees. Syan mat sehvya vipra punya tirtha nishe vanat. One is able to associate with the Lord even during the existence of this life. Places of pilgrimage are meant for eradicating the sins of the pilgrims, and they are distributed all over the universe just to give facility to all concerned for attaining pure existence and God realization. One should not be satisfied, however, merely by visiting the place of pilgrimage and performing one's prescribed duties. He should be eager to meet a great souls who are already there. Engage in the service of the Lord in each and every place of pilgrimage. The Lord is present in his various transcendental forms. These forms are called Archamurti or forms of the Lord, which can be easily approached by the common man. The Lord is transcendental to our mundane senses. He cannot be seen by our present eyes, nor can be he heard or with our present ears. To the degree that we have entered into the service of the Lord, or to the proportion that our lives are freed from sins, we can perceive the Lord. But even though we are not free from sin, the Lord is kind enough to to allow us the facility of seeing Him in His Archamurti Murti in the temple. The Lord is all powerful. Therefore, He is able to accept our service via presentation of His Archa form. No one therefore should foolishly think the Archa in the temple to be an idol. Such an Archa Murti is not an idol, but the Lord Himself. And to the proportion that one is free from sins, he is able to know the significance of Archa Murti. The guidance of a pure devotee is therefore always required. In the land of Bharatvarsh, there are many hundreds and thousands of places of pilgrimage distributed all over the country. And by traditional practice, the common man visits such holy places during all seasons of the year. Some of the Archa representation of the Lord situated in different places of pilgrimage are mentioned herewith. The Lord is present at Mathura, the birthplace of Lord Krishna, as Adi Keshava. The Lord is present at Puri, Orissa as Lord Jagannath, also known as Purushottama. He is present at Allahabad, Prayag as Bindu Madhav. At Mandar Hill, he is present as Madhusudana. In Anandaranya, he is known as Vasudev, Padmanabh, and Janardana. At Vishnu Kanchi, he is known as Vishnu. At Mayapur, he is known as Hari. There are millions and billions of such Archa form of the Lord distributed all over the universes. All these Archa Murti are summarized in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the following words. सर्वत्र प्रकाश तंत्र भक्ते सुखी दिते जगतेर अधर्म नाशी धर्म स्थापिते. फिर तो ऊपर करेंगे. The Lord has so distributed himself all over the universe just to give pleasure to the devotee, to give the common man facility to eradicate his sins, and to establish religious principle in the world.
वाह, देखिए कितना महत्वपूर्ण पर्पट है. How many things we can learn here? First of all, this verse can be, this purport has to be studied again. Alert, careful, association, consciousness, profession, company, country. Although here Vidur, we may think that is a pure duty, but he's setting the example here because he was in company of the Duryodhana. He was not qualified to see the Lord. Vidurji's example he is using. So Prabhupada says, therefore, unless we are executing the regulative devotional principle, it is not possible to meet the Lord. So therefore, he is warning us. Even Rup Sanatan Goswami also felt they are fallen because they are serving the Muslim. And they also, Prabhupada says the same thing. Therefore, association of Mahat is very important. And one should always don't think that we are a very great person. We have to follow the 64 principles given by Rup Goswami. Very, very diligently execute those principles. Here, Vidurji is a Yamaraj, is a Mahajan, but he is telling that I am not qualified. So therefore, serving duty is very important. Prabhupada is talking about that how duty worship existed millions of years also. ऐसा नहीं कि अभी हमने ISKCON ने निकाला है duty worship. तुरंत प्रभुपाद जी प्रूफ निकाला ना प्रूफ कि duty worship पहले से है, अभी से नहीं है. मतलब कोई भी पॉइंट को प्रभुपाद जी ऐसे छोड़ते नहीं, देखा ना, तुरंत पकड़ लिया. Therefore, Bharatavarsha is important. Once I was working in Malaysia now. I'm not criticizing anybody. So there are Indian people, they are eating in a restaurant. Now, when they are eating in the restaurant of the local people, even if they eat rice, they are contaminated now because that person is a meat eater. And you are, therefore, I saw the Indian people there also, they are like their same people only. Although they are namesake Indian, but they look like local people because all consciousness is like that only. How much struggle is required to maintain in the country which is not India to yourself? How much, therefore, Prabhupada says, perform your own community. Then only you can sustain in the outside India. Therefore, some individuals are coming from out of India because the children are becoming Indian. Children, as they grow, they want to put them in Indians, not Americans. If the highest one child goes above 8 in America, he will lose the child. Everybody knows that. Therefore, the devotees, they will work there and immediately they will come. Many devotees I asked, they said, we are coming because of the children. So India still culture is there. Any question? Shall we go ahead? Remind me of break, after 5 minutes. Whether you want break or no?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. दोपहर का समय नींद आ रहा है. पास्ट टाइम बोलता हूँ, भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती का पास्ट टाइम बोलूंगा, तो बुक पढ़ रहा हूँ ना, क्योंकि अभी मुझे एक मैं सीरीज बना रहा हूँ। मैं ऐसे सुन रहा हूँ कि बहुत सारे लोग ISKCON के बाहर लेक्चर सुन रहे हैं। सच बोलिए, सुन रहे कि नहीं? आपने देखा होगा, एक फेमस स्वामी है, आप लोग नहीं, वृंदावन के एक फेमस बाबा जी हैं, उनके लोग बहुत लेक्चर सुन रहे हैं। हमें किसी का अनादर करना नहीं है, तो आप में से अगर किसी ने ऐसा देखा ना, तो थोड़ा केयरफुल रहना है। हमारा स्टेटस में हमें हमारे आचार्य रखने, हमें वो दूसरे किसी को रखना नहीं है। ऑफकोर्स मुझे पता नहीं किसी का व्हाट्सएप, मुझे रेवतीपति ने दिखा एक डिवोटी का स्टेटस पे उनका फोटो होना, देखो भाई हमारे आचार्य का फोटो होना चाहिए ना। वी रिस्पेक्ट ऑल, therefore I am preparing one series now in a brahmacharya ashram. I give 2 classes here. Radheshan Prabhu also was appreciating there. I spoke from the Bhakti Siddhanta about the glories of Gaudiya Vaishnava. And one should be careful, if somebody is speaking, we can't understand what is Mayavad. We will not able to understand what is Mayavad. We need the sharp acharya like Bhakti Siddhanta Swami, who can tell it is Mayavad. Many religions are actually filled with Mayavad. Very less are without Mayavad. So you should be very, very careful what you are hearing. It may looking, yes, it is talking about Radha only. Now as you see, chanting Radhe Radhe is easy or chanting Hare Krishna is easy? Who will answer honestly? What is easy?
Chanting Radhe Radhe. Chanting Radhe Radhe.
Then why you should not chant Radhe Radhe? Both are same. Now why you should chant Hare Krishna mantra? Can anybody answer me this question? Why you should chant?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told us.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you don't care now. We care Radhe Radhe, Radha Rani.
Because we should bring Krishna and Radharani together. When
Radha Rani is correct. Radha Rani is telling that you should chant Hare Krishna mantra. Then why should we listen to any other person? Is it greater than Srimati Radharani? Personally, Srimati Radharani says that you should chant Hare Krishna mantra. Basic logic we can't understand. And we say, नहीं Radha Radha थोड़ा छोटा है. But छोटे बुद्धि वाले व्यक्ति, हाँ sorry, बोलिए.
even Prabhupada was staying in Vrindavan for so many years, but he did not chant Radhe Radhe. He chanted Hare Krishna.
But छोटी बुद्धि वाला व्यक्ति सोचता है कि राधे राधे छोटा है. बट जो बड़ी बुद्धि वाले श्रीमती राधा ने सबसे सर्वोच्च सोचने क्या मंत्र बोला, हरे कृष्ण मंत्र. और आपको और एक फिलोसॉफिकल पॉइंट बोलता हूँ. Even if you thousands of years you remain in Vrindavan, na, you can't achieve Radharani's mercy what we want. Yes, any jiva will attain the mercy of Radharani. Yes, but what we are looking is what? Madhurya prem. That is not possible by directly worshipping Radha. For that you have to Radharani will submit you to one assistant. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Swarup Damodar, sorry, Raghunath Das Goswami, you will under whom? Swarup Damodar. Swarup Damodar. So similarly, without the mercy of Manjari, one cannot attain Srimati Radharani. And all our acharyas are Manjari Sampradaya. Rup Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. So this is a common sense. Then why should we leave our Sampradaya? Never leave Sampradaya. And never hear and there. Because what happens, there is a Sampradaya Rasabhas हो जाएंगे. जैसे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राधे गोविंद, कितना अच्छा लग रहा है. But this is Rasabhas. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati completely pounded this bogus mantra. ठीक है, किसी का कोई प्रश्न है?
सरस्वती महाराज फर्स्ट टाइम.
आवाज कम आ रहा है, जोर से.
भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती महाराज का फर्स्ट टाइम.
हाँ ठीक है, तो अभी मैं इस लोग जाऊंगा नहीं पूरे इशू, अभी फर्स्ट टाइम बोल के ब्रेक लेंगे. सो एक भक्ति दयिता माधव महाराज है, इज अ डिसाइपल ऑफ भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati gave one devotee one initiation in 1930 and he left in 1937. As soon as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati left the body, this person from Assam, he broke all the principles. Then after 6 months he left his body. So all the devotees took him to the burning funeral and they put him on the woods, actually all the wood and all, and they are doing some ritual. Suddenly he got up and all the devotees ran. They said, Bhut, Bhut. He said, I am not Bhut. And he immediately went to Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. and told him that I want initiation. And he was going to tell the story. He said, I know everything, just sit for initiation. Don't tell me the story, I know everything. He was shocked. Then he only told the story. So what is the story you want to hear? So this devotee, after death, two people came and took him. They were going to Yamlok, and he became very thirsty. He asked them, "Are mujhe pani chahiye?" They showed him one river that was filled with all mucus, blood. He said, "How can I drink this water?" He said, "This is only available." Then they went to Chitragupta. Chitragupta said, "This person I cannot take him to Yamraj." Then he went to Yamraj. Line खड़ा था. Yamraj सबको सजा दे रहे थे. ये डर गया ना, अरे बाप रे, मुझे क्या होने वाला? Then his number came. He said, "What good thing you have done in your life?" He said, "I have taken initiation from Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati." As soon as he took the name, Yamaraj closed his eyes. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati appeared there. And before saying anything, he started to chastise the disciple. The disciple offered obeisance. He said, "Gurudev, please क्षमा करो, ऐसा नहीं करूंगा." बहुत डांटते थे. तो बोले, "ठीक है, तुमको और एक चांस देता हूँ, अभी जाओ और भक्ति देवता माधव महाराज दीक्षा ले रहे तुरंत." बोले, "ठीक है." यमराज ने कुछ बोला नहीं और उसके बाद उनको कुछ समझा नहीं, डायरेक्ट सीता ऑफिस से उड़ गए. इतना उनको याद है. और ये स्टोरी किसने बताया था? भक्ति देवता महाराज के साइट पे लिखा है. और फिर ये व्यक्ति जैसे घर आया, घर त्याग कर दिया, तो चला गया मठ में और वहीं पे रहा. कोई वापस घर गया नहीं. सो दैट इज द पावर ऑफ द आचार्य. सो व्हाई शुड वी लीव द आचार्य? हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. श्रील प्रभुपाद की. सो 5 minute break. ओके, हरे. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Next, Purushe, Pureshu Punyo Pavanadrikunje Shapankato Yeshu Sarit Sarasum Anantalinge Samaklang Kriteshu Chachara Tirtayataneshananya. वो कहाँ से? पुरेशु, पुण्य, नगर, पवित्र, बगीचे, पर्वत, लता, झुंड, नदियों, यहाँ से वो तालाबों से घूम रहे थे। और यहाँ सब क्या थे? लिंग मतलब भगवान की मूर्तियां, आयन मंदिर।
वीडियो
अरे बोल, प्लीज म्यूट कीजिए। और उन्होंने क्या नहीं किया? ट्रैवलिंग अलोन ओनली थिंकिंग ऑफ कृष्ण, इज ट्रैवलिंग अलोन ओनली थिंकिंग ऑफ कृष्ण। सी, ये बहुत जरूरी है। अभी आप परपट पढ़िए, परपट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट। किसका नंबर है? पढ़िए, किसका नंबर आ रही बोल? इसके पहले कौन पढ़ा था?
He began he began to travel alone, thinking only of Krishna through various holy places like Ayodhya, Dwarka, and Mathura. He traveled where the grove hills, orchard, river, and lake are all pure and sinless, and where the forms of the unlimited decorate the temples. Thus he performed the pilgrim's progress. Purport. Purport. These archa forms of the Lord may be considered idols by the atheist, but that does not matter for persons like Vidura or his many other servants. The forms of the Lord are mentioned here as Anantalinga. Such forms of the Lord have unlimited potency, the same as that of the Lord himself. There is no difference between the potencies of the archer and those of the personal form of the Lord. The example of the post box and post office may be applied here. The little post boxes distributed all over the city have the same potency as the postal system in general. The duty of the post office is to carry letters from one place to another. If one puts letters in post boxes authorized by the General Post Office, the function of carrying letters is performed without doubt. Similarly, the Archamurti can also deliver the same unlimited potency of the Lord as when he is personally present. Vidura therefore could see nothing but Krishna in the different Archa forms, and ultimately he was able to realize Krishna alone and nothing else. Hare Krishna.
So, traveling with devotees, yes, we have to travel with the devotee, yet we should be focused on our purpose of traveling. We are traveling for Krishna consciousness, not for anything. So the main activity when traveling to the holy place is what? Kirtanam. We should be focused on Sarvanam, Kirtanam, and Vishnu Smaranam. Bas, that's all. That should be the goal. Like Vidurji is traveling to everywhere, but his focus is what? He is constantly thinking of Krishna. Fully depending on Krishna, holy places give, because holy places are controlled by the Lord, and sometimes there can be some inconvenience because it is controlled by Lord. So we have to adjust. Otherwise, then if you are too much bodily conscious, then you will not able to get the benefit of the holy place. Holy place can give immense benefit. Immense benefit. One cannot estimate. The Dham can give immense benefit. But we should prepare like Vidura. If you go unprepared to Dham, you will see after coming there, you will say, why did I go there? ऐसा होगा आपके साथ. उससे पूरा प्रिपरेशन, वहाँ पे क्या मुझे कीर्तन करना है, कौन से श्लोक याद करने हैं, कौन सा प्रेयर करना है, सब कुछ प्लान करना है. सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट प्रेयरफुल एटीट्यूड. Even if you don't have any slogan, just be prayerful attitude. Everywhere, just pray to Lord. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट श्लोक. गाम पर्यटन में विविक्त वृत्ति सदा प्लुतोघ शयनोवधूत अलक्षित स्वैरवधूत वेशो वर्तानि चेरे हरितोषणानि. अभी डायरेक्ट ट्रांसलेशन पढ़ो.
हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna.
हाँ
Hare
बोलिए.
Krishna. While so traversing the earth, he simply performed duties to please the Supreme Lord Hari. His occupation was pure and independent. He was constantly sanctified by taking his bath in holy places, although he was in the days of mendicant and had no hair dressing, nor bed to which to lie. Thus, he was always unseen by his various relatives. Shall I read the purport, Prabhu?
हाँ बस, yes.
The purport. The first and foremost duty of pilgrim is to satisfy Supreme Lord Hari. While traveling as a pilgrim, one should not be worried about pleasing society. There is no need to depend on the social formalities or occupation or dress. One should remain always absorbed in the function of pleasing the Lord, thus sanctified by thought and action. One is able to realize the Supreme Lord by the process of pilgrim journey.
तो प्रभुपाद जी ने क्लियर बोला, you should be fully absorbed in the thought of Vishnu. दूसरा कुछ हमें unnecessary सोचना नहीं है. There can be so many inconveniences, everything, but be fully focus on thought of Vishnu. That is very important function. इत्थं व्रतं भारतमेव वर्षं कालेन यावत् गतवान् प्रभासं तावच्च चक्राम एकातपत्रामजितेन पार्थ. नेक्स्ट ड्यूटी पढ़िए. ट्रांसलेशन पर पढ़ा अभी.
ट्रांसलेशन.
हाँ.
हरे कृष्णा. ट्रांसलेशन.
हाँ पढ़िए.
When he was in the land of Bharatvarsha, traveling to all the places of pilgrimage, he visited Prabhasa Kshetra. At that time, Maharaja Yudhishthira was the emperor and held the world under one military strength and one flag. But more than 5,000 years ago, while Saint Vidura was traveling to the earth as a pilgrim, India was known as Bharatvarsha, as it is known even today. The history of the world cannot give any systematic account for more than 3,000 years into the past. But before that, the whole world was under the flag and military strength of Maharaj Yudhishthira, who was the emperor of world. At present, there was hundreds and thousands of flags flapping in the United Nations. But during the time of Vidura, there was, by the grace of Ajita, Lord Krishna, only one flag. The nations of the world are very eager to again have one state under one flag. But for this, they must seek the favor of Lord Krishna, who alone can help us become one worldwide nation.
Entire earth. Who was the emperor? Devotee, Rajarshi, Parikshit. So Prabhupada is using everything to talk about Krishna. The nations are eager, but how can they do? When they come under Krishna, they will be naturally coming under one flag. Otherwise, it is not possible. Prabhupada will not give one thought also to not put Krishna conscious. Okay. Next. Tattarava shushra vasradvinashtam vanam yata venu java sansayam sanspardaya dagdamatanushocan sarasvatim pratyagiyaya tushni. Padiye next devotee.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll read. At the place of the pilgrimage at Prabhasa, it came to his knowledge that all his relatives had died due to violent passion, just as entire forest burns due to fire produced by the friction of bamboos. After this, he proceeded west, where the river Saraswati flows. Purport. Both the Kauravas and the Yadavas were relatives of Vidura, and Vidura heard of their extinction due to fratricidal war. The comparison of friction of forest bamboos to that of passionate human societies is appropriate. The whole world is compared to a forest. At any moment, there may be a flare-up of fire in the forest due to friction. No one goes to the forest to set it on fire, but only due to friction between bamboos, fire takes place and burns entire forest. Similarly, in the greater forest of worldly transactions, the fire of war takes place because of violent passion of the conditioned souls illusioned by the external energy. Such a worldly fire can be extinguished only by the water of the mercy cloud of saints, just as a forest fire can be extinguished only by the rains falling from a cloud.
Prabhupada bolte forest fire is just like that only, just friction. Same way the war start from within the community. करेक्ट. कहाँ से होता है पता नहीं चलता, कम्युनिटी के अंदर ही. जैसे फॉरेस्ट फायर कहाँ स्टार्ट हो रहा है? विद इन द वुड ओनली, है ना? विद इन द वुड ओनली द फायर स्टार्टिंग ना. सिमिलरली यार प्रॉपर ये जो कम्युनिटी में भी जो फायर होता है, जो कम फायर होता है वो कहाँ से हो रहा है? कम्युनिटी के अंदर ही होता है, पर कुछ कारण नहीं उसका, कुछ कारण नहीं है. कोई बोलेगा नहीं नहीं प्रभु जी इसने ऐसा क्या, कुछ कारण नहीं है. फॉरेस्ट फायर को हम ऐसा कारण समझ सकते क्या? नहीं. तो इसके लिए क्या करना चाहिए? कांस्टेंट कृष्ण कथा, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. संसार दावा नुललीड लोका प्रणय कारुण्य घना घना. Even if there are some forest fire, let the Sankirtana will go there. Thus the cloud of Sankirtana will get rid of this fire, of internal communal fire. So if there is a noise Sankirtana happening in the community, even if there are small, सबके घर में फायर होता है कि नहीं? होता है. मेरे घर में भी हमेशा मेरे पेरेंट्स और मदर का झगड़ा होता था. इसका अर्थ थोड़ी हमें एक जला देना है. So similarly, there can be some clashes within the community also. But one should not be too much worried. What he should always think that whenever any community forms, there will be first poison. I am reading this Samudra Manthan is my reading now. What will come first? Poison. And we need the devotees like Lord Shiva who will get all the poison, and the nectar will come. What will come? Nectar will come. And how that poison we can take? By chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. There can be fight anytime, anywhere. The Krishna Katha, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur, he had one magazine once in a 6 months, one magazine once in a 3 months, then one magazine once in a 1 month, then 15 days, then 6 days, then every day. Also there are 2 magazines, Hindi, Bengali, Sanskrit. So Madan Mohan Malviya, have you heard about Madan Mohan Malviya? We know about one pastor of Madan Malviya, that he came to Bhakti Siddhanta and he told you to wash the pot. But we should I have so many pastimes. When Madan Malviya came and he heard Krishna Katha, he said, I need such thousands of brahmacharis. I will send them from morning of the sun to the evening of the sun and have such Krishna Katha in every house of the India. Please give me. You are speaking such an important Hari Katha. And then he asked the question, how you are able to produce so many newspaper articles, magazines? He said, what? This universe is a mustard seed in the entire eternity. And there are millions of incarnations happening every day, like the waves in the ocean. Avatari Asankyo you. I have what to speak. Ananta Shech, Lord Brahma, they are constantly speaking. I can produce millions of newspaper at every second. Still the Katha will be not finished. Krishna Katha ki jai. When Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati will speak Krishna Katha, minimum 4 hours. But nobody will become bored because his purity is there. What he has? The purity of the person. He will give minimum, and some people will sing Kirtan, he will say, without Katha, Kirtan has no value. Katha is the Swarup Shakti of Kirtan. And he used to stop all such bogus Kirtan. One of his disciples was singing, for one Mahamantra, he took 15 minutes. He shouted from the top, he said, stop nonsense. You are wasting the time of you and other people. You could have chanted more time, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. What you are wasting the time of the people. Okay? So, Sansara Dava, not illegal. So, dear Suryakant Krishna Prabhu, so there is no reason that there can be some fight among the community. Is there any reason there? No reason.
No reason.
Only one reason is Krishna Katha. What? Krishna Katha. यानी जिन आप में से सभी लोग लीडर ही हैं, तो आप ये फ्यूचर में पक्का रखिए, अगर आपने निगलेक्ट किया कृष्ण कथा करने में, तो कब झगड़ा होगा पता नहीं. चित्रकेतु महाराज has 1 crore wife and he neglected remaining 1 minus 1 crore. So therefore Prabhupada says, therefore they killed his own son. So therefore how to engage everybody? By Krishna Katha, by Krishna Kirtan. So everybody is busy. They don't have any time. Okay, let's go ahead. Tasyam titasya shonaso manoscha pruthortha preritasya vayo तीर्थम सुदासस्य गवाम गहस्य यच्छा ददेवस्य स आशिवे सेवे. नेक्स्ट डिवोटी पढ़िए.
On the bank of river Saraswati, there were 11 places of pilgrimage, namely Trita, Usana, Manu, Prithu, Agni, Asita, Vayu, Sudasa, Go, Guha, Shraddha Deva. Vidura visited all of them and duly performed rituals.
Next. Anyani cheha deva deve कृतानि नाना यतनानि विष्णु प्रत्यंग मुख्यांकित मंदिराणि यद्दर्शनात् कृष्णमनुस्मरन्ति. वाह, very nice श्लोका, very nice. Please read.
There were also many other temples of various forms of Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, established by great sages and demigods. These temples were marked with the chief emblems of the Lord, and they remained one always of the original personality of Godhead Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Human society is divided into 4 social orders of life and 4 spiritual divisions, applying to each and every individual person. This system is called Varnashram Dharma and has already been discussed in many places in this great literature. The sages or persons who completely devoted themselves to the spiritual upliftment of the entire human society were known as Dwij Deva, the best among the twice born. The denizens of superior planets from the moon planet and upward were known as Devas. Both the Dwij Devas and the Devas always established temples of Lord Vishnu in his various forms, such as Govinda, Madhusudana, Narsimha, Madhava, Keshwa, Narayana, Padmanabha, Parth Sarthi, and many others. The Lord expand himself in innumerable forms. Also, all of them are non-different from one another. Lord Vishnu has 4 hands, and each hand holds a particular item, either in conch shell, wheel, club, or lotus flower. Of these 4 emblems, the chakra or wheel is the chief. Lord Krishna, being the original Vishnu form, has only one emblem, namely the wheel. Therefore, he is sometimes called the Chakri. The Lord's chakra is the symbol of the power by which the Lord controls the whole manifestation. The tops of Vishnu temples are marked with the symbol of wheel so that people may have the chance to see the symbol form a very long distance and at once remember Lord Krishna. The purpose of building very high temples is to give people a chance to see them from distant place. This system is carried on in India whenever a new temple is constructed, and it appears that it is coming down from a time before recorded history. The foolish propaganda by atheists that temples were constructed only in later days is refuted here, because Vidura visited these temples at least 5,000 years ago. The temples of Vishnu were in existence long, long before Vidura visited them. The great sages and demigods never established statues of men or demigods, but they established temples of Vishnu for the benefit of common men, to raise them to the platform of God consciousness.
Okay, such a wonderful verse. Yeah. First paragraph, Prabhupada says about chakra, purpose and importance. Temple, temple existing from time immemorial. Demigods and dvijas always build temple. So Prabhupada is saying that demigods and dvijas, they always build the temple. And they are existing from time immemorial. And what is the purpose? Krishna's anusmaranti. They will keep the chakra. They will keep the chakra, so that even if somebody is, while going also, if sees the temple, he will remember Krishna. और जो द्विजोदेव है, मतलब ब्राह्मण है, उनका क्या काम है? Propagate the bhakti. Propagate the bhakti. So Krishna is also called sometimes Chakri because he has a chakra, and therefore all the temples Sudarshan chakra is there. Krishna Anusmarant. He was remembering actually Krishna. So why the people are building the statues of the politicians? Better you build the temples of the Lord, so that even if that person doesn't go to temple, by simply looking at the chakra, he will get so much benefit. So much benefit. Such a wonderful purpose, Prabhupada. Next sloka. Tatasvati vrajya surashtam vruddham sauviramasyan kurujangalascha kalena tavadyamanu kalena tavadyam unamupetya tatro bhavat bhagavatam tadarsha. Wow, wonderful now. Next devotee, कौन है? पढ़िए.
Translation.
Thereafter, he passed through very wealthy provinces like Surat, Sauvira, and Matsya, and through western India, known as Kuru Jangal. At last, he reached the bank of the Yamuna, where he happened to meet Uddhava, the great devotee of Lord Krishna. Purpose: the tract of land comprising about 100 square miles from modern Delhi to Mathura district in Uttar Pradesh, including a portion of the Gurgaon district in Punjab, East India, is considered to be the topmost place of pilgrimage in all of India. This land is sacred because Lord Krishna traveled through it many times. From the very beginning of his appearance, he was at Mathura in the house of his maternal uncle Kamsa, and he was reared by his foster father Maharaj Nanda at Vrindavan. There are still many devotees of the Lord lingering there in ecstasy in search of Krishna and his childhood associates, the gopis. It is not that such devotees meet Krishna face to face in that tract of land, but a devotee eagerly searching after Krishna is as good as seeing him personally. How this is so cannot be explained, but it is factually realized by those who are pure devotees of the Lord. Philosophically, one can understand that Lord Krishna and his remembrance are on the absolute plane, and that the very idea of searching for him at Vrindavan in pure God consciousness gives more pleasure to the devotee than seeing him face to face. Such devotees of the Lord see him face to face at every moment, as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. प्रेमाञ्जनश्रुतभक्तिविलोचनेन सन्तः सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्याम सुन्दरम् अचिन्त्य गुणस्वरूपं गोविन्दमादितीर्थं तमहं भजामि. Those who are in ecstasy of love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shyam Sundar Krishna, see him always in their hearts due to love and devotional service rendered to the Lord. Both Vidura and Uddhava were such elevated devotees, and therefore they both came to the bank of the Yamuna and met each other.
Okay, now here, Gaudiya Siddhanta Shadgoswami. What Prabhupada says a beautiful thing here. In the tract of the Lamb, composing about, there are many great devotees eagerly searching for Krishna. After Krishna as God is seeing personally. And such devotees of the Lord see him face to face every moment. Let's continue because okay. So what is the Gaudiya Siddhanta? Hey Radhe Vaja Devi ki chalte he nanda suno kuta. That is our Siddhanta. More than seeing Krishna is searching for Krishna is powerful. So because both are same, but searching for Krishna will never stop. Because when you moment you meet Krishna, your search is stopped. But therefore, Hey Raje Vajadevi ki chalte he nanda suno kuta. Vipralamba bhav. Therefore, Mahaprabhu likes more Jagannath Puri. Because in Jagannath Puri is more competition than Vrindavan. Because there they are looking for Krishna. Now the great thing will happen here. Savasudevanucharam prashantam Brihaspate prakanayam pratitam Alingya gadam pranayena bhatram Swanam aprachat bhagavat prajanam. Wow. The meeting of Vidura and Uddhava. So next devotee कौन है पढ़िए बहुत सुंदर है.
Yeah. Then due to his great love and feeling, Vidura embraced him Uddhava, who was a constant companion of Lord Krishna and formerly a great student of Brihaspati's. Vidura then asked him for news of the family of Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Purport. Vidura was older than Uddhava, like a father, and therefore when the two met, Uddhava bowed down before Vidura. Vidura embraced him because Uddhava was younger, like a son. Vidura's brother Pandu was Lord Krishna's uncle, and Uddhava was a cousin to Lord Krishna. According to social custom, therefore, Vidura was to be respected by Uddhava on the level of his father. Uddhava was a great scholar in logic, and he was known to be a son or disciple of Brihaspati, the greatly learned priest and spiritual master of the demigods. Vidura asked Uddhava about the welfare of his relatives, although he already knew that they were no longer in the world. This inquiry appears to be very queer, but Sri Jiva Goswami states that the news was shocking to Vidura, who therefore inquired again due to great curiosity. Thus, his inquiry was psychological and not practical.
So Prabhupada जी clarify करते हैं कि जो inquiry है ये क्या है psychological, क्योंकि विदुर जी को सब पता था, but he doesn't want to hear the same news. यहाँ पे जो शब्द देखिए वासुदेव अनुचरम, उद्धव जी कौन थे? वासुदेव के अनुचर. कितना महत्वपूर्ण शब्द है. प्रशांतम, बृहस्पति का शिष्य था. आलिंग्य गाढ़म प्रणयेन, दोनों ने एक दूसरे को कैसा आलिंगन किया. अधरम शब्द कितने सुंदर है ना, उसके ऊपर फोकस कीजिए. दो वैष्णव के बीच में का एटिकेट कितना सुंदर है. विदुर जी भी भाव प्लेटफॉर्म में है और उद्धव भाव प्लेटफॉर्म. विदुर जी का इंक्वायरी भाव प्लेटफॉर्म पे, आउट ऑफ लव. There is nothing, everything he knows, but he was not ready to hear that the Lord Krishna has left it. जैसे महाभारत में भी जब युधिष्ठिर ने अर्जुन को भेजा था न्यूज, तो न्यूज बता नहीं रहे थे. युधिष्ठिर को लग रहा था कि भगवान चढ़ गए, तो अर्जुन ने सब कुछ बताया. सबसे लास्ट में बताया कि कृष्णा लेफ्ट द वर्ल्ड. जो युधिष्ठिर को पता था लेकिन उसको सुनना नहीं था. तो ये सब कुछ प्रेम का संबंध है. इसमें लॉजिकली सब कुछ बराबर हो ही नहीं सकता. लॉजिकली सब गलत है. Therefore, by logic, we cannot approach everything. अभी आफ्टर दिस नाउ दोनों के बीच में का जो संबंध इतना सुंदर है वो हमें पता चलेगा. कश्चित पुराणो पुरुषो स्वनाभ्या पाद्म्यानुवृत्तेः किलावतीर्णो आसातु भूर्व्या कुशलम
अब
विधाय
और लेके आएंगे ना पापा, आज और लेके आएंगे.
कृतक्षण कुशलम शूरगेः. नेक्स्ट डिवोटी कौन है? उनको पढ़ना है. सुंदर.
Translation. Please
हाँ.
tell me whether the original personalities of Godhead who incarnated themselves at the request of Brahma, who is born out of the lotus flower from the Lord, and who have increased the prosperity of the world by elevating everyone, are doing well in the house of Surasena. Purport. Lord Krishna and Balarama are not two different personalities of Godhead. God is one without a second, but he expands himself in many forms without their being separate from one another. They are all plenary expansions. The immediate expansion of Lord Krishna is Baldev, and Brahma, born from the lotus flower from Garbhodakshay Vishnu, is an expansion of Baladeva. This indicates that Krishna and Baladeva are not subjected to the regulations of the universe. On the contrary, the whole universe is under their subjugation. They appeared at the request of Brahma to liberate the burden of the world, and they relieved the world by many superhuman activities so that everyone became happy and prosperous. Without the grace of the Lord, no one can become happy and prosperous, because the happiness of the family of the Lord's devotees depend upon the happiness of the world. Happiness of the Lord. Vidura first of all inquired about the well-being of the Lord.
Madhav sir, Guru, you are on mute.
So Lord is on the भाव, मतलब विदुर जी on भाव लेवल. भगवान को कुछ होने नहीं वाला है, लेकिन ही जस्ट आस्किंग कि भगवान सही है क्या? भगवान को क्या होने वाला? भगवान अर्जी की जो because the happiness of the family of the Lord devotee depends on the happiness of the Lord. Vidura first of all inquired about the well-being of the Lord. This is coming from the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. If everything about Lord is good, everybody is good. If something happened to the Lord, the devotees will be unhappy. So therefore he asked first about the family, about the Lord and about the Lord. ऐसा विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर वहां पे बताते. So Prabhupada जी अगेन कृष्ण बलराम में डिफरेंट नहीं है. कश्चित पुरानो पुरुषो, ये द्वितीय विभक्ति है. अगर संस्कृत का स्टडी किया है ना, जैसे संकीर्तनैक पितरो कमलाय दाक्षो विश्वम्भरो भुविभरो युगधर्म पालो. तो संस्कृत में प्रथमा द्वितीय तृतीय, तृतीय पुरुष, सॉरी द्वितीय पुरुष है विभक्ति, द्वितीय पुरुष. इसलिए यहाँ पे दोनों के बारे में बोला है, कृष्ण और बलराम. नेक्स्ट. कश्चित कुरूणाम परम सृहन्नो भामस्य आस्ते सुखमंग शौरी यो वै ससूनाम पितृ यो वै ससूनाम पितृवद्ददाति वरान वदान्यो वर तर्पणेन. यस, पढ़िए, बहुत सुंदर है.
Translation. Please tell me whether the best friend of the Kurus, our brother-in-law Vasudev, is doing well. He is very munificent. He is like a father to his sisters, and he is always pleasing to his wives. Purport. Lord Krishna's father, Vasudeva, had 16 wives, and one of them named Pauravi or Rohini, the mother of Baldeva, was the sister of Vidura. Vasudeva, therefore, was the husband of Vidura's sister, and thus they were brothers-in-law. Vasudeva's sister Kunti was the wife of Pandu, Vidura's elder brother, and in that sense also, Vasudeva was brother-in-law to Vidura. Kunti was younger than Vasudeva. and it was the duty of the elder brother to treat younger sisters as daughters. Whenever anything was needed by Kunti, it was munificently delivered by Vasudeva due to his great love for his younger sister. Vasudeva never dissatisfied his wives, and at the same time, he supplied the objects desired by his sister. He had special attention for Kunti because she became a widow at an early age. While inquiring about Vasudeva's welfare, Vidura remembered all about him and the family relationship.
So यहाँ पे वसुदेव is ideal husband and brother. So यहाँ पे एक व्यवहारिक चीज बोली है प्रभुपाद जी ने, how to please the sister by giving lot of gifts. Otherwise it is difficult to please. So Vasudeva was very expert. But Vasudeva, he gave a lot of love and gifts. Anga, the older brother, is actually like a father. Kunti, Rohini is also mother of Baldeva, was a sister of Vidura. The इनका relationship ऐसा था. And Vasudeva's sister Kunti was the wife of Pandu. So दोनों का relationship बहुत घनिष्ठ था. And Kunti was younger than Vasudeva, means Vasudeva considered her like a daughter. And therefore he has to take care of her children more. तो अभी तो फैमिली रिलेशनशिप सबसे ज्यादा खराब है कलयुग में देखा जाए. ज्यादा अगर आप देखेंगे तो पीपल हैव फाइट विद फैमिली मेंबर एक्चुअली. दिस इज which is not good. Which is not good. So because the center is not Krishna. There Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the Lord Ram's family. But now what is a family? The reason is immediately there is a fight for the property. And they don't want to see each other's face. This is all actually greed. And therefore the society is beginning shrink ho rahi hai. Chot. Which is not good. At least our devotee family should be, which is actually real family. Kaschit varuta adhipatiriyadunam pradyumna aste sukamanga viraha yam rukmini bhagavato vilebe arad vipran smaradadi sarge. बढ़िया next devotee.
Oh Uddhava, please tell me, how is the Pradyumna, the commander-in-chief of the Yadus, who was stupid in a former life? Rukmini bore him as her son from Lord Krishna, by the grace of Brahma whom she pleased. According to Sri Jiva Goswami, Mara Cupid or Kamadeva is one of the eternal associates of Lord Krishna. Jiva Goswami has explained this very elaborately in his treatise Krishna Sandarbha.
Okay. Pradyumna, the commander-in-chief of Yadus. Okay. So there is a Kamadeva, means actually eternal. Kamadeva is like Lord Krishna's expansion only. And this other Kamadeva will come in his body. It is not that demigod Kamadeva. Original Kamadeva is Lord Krishna's expansion only. And all others, they will merge into their body. Like Haridas Thakur is original. But Lord Brahma also entered in the body of Haridas Thakur. Like Sanatan entered the body of Sanatan Goswami. Okay. Kaschit Sukham Satvata.
Prabhuji, I just have a quick question. What is the function of this spiritual Kamadeva? Because in material world, we know the Kamadeva is for keeping the souls in binding condition.
आपका ब्राह्मण इनिशिएशन हुआ है क्या?
नहीं प्रभुजी.
उसमें एक मंत्र आता है. तो ये कामदेव मीन्स एक्चुअली गेटिंग अट्रैक्टेड टू द डिवाइन क्यूपिड, राधा कृष्ण. हमारे गायत्री में एक काम गायत्री मंत्र होता है. एक गायत्री नहीं होता, एक तो ब्रह्म गायत्री सबको पता है, उसके बाद भी 8 गायत्री होते हैं. गौर गायत्री, गुरु गायत्री, गोपाल गायत्री एंड काम गायत्री. So that is the getting attracted to Lord Radha Krishna. Okay. And that उसका ही विकृत रूप ये कामदेव है. Krishna, either you get attracted to Krishna or the Maya. Same काम शक्ति same है. उसका power भी same, but direction opposite. Correct?
Thank you.
कश्चित् सुखम सात्वत वृष्णि भोज दाशार्ह काणामधिपस् आस्ते यम अभ्यचिच्छ यम अभिश्रयच्छ छतपत्र नेत्रो निरुपासशाणाम परिहत्य दूरात्. पढ़िए.
O my friend, tell me whether Ugrasen, the king of the Satvatas, Vrishnis, Bhojas, and Dasharhas, is now doing well. He went far away from his kingdom, leaving aside all hopes of his royal throne. But Lord Krishna again installed him.
So without Lord Krishna, there is no hope for Ugrasen to become king. How can he become king? Not possible. Pandava ko bhi same hai. Without Krishna, Pandavas also cannot do anything. So everything is happening because of Krishna. That is the main message. Kaschid thare saumya sutta sadrishya aste graniratinam sadhu samba asotayam jambavati vatadya devam guhyam yom vikayadato gre.
Translation. O gentle one, does Samba fare well? He exactly resembles the son of the personality of Godhead. In a previous birth, he was born as Kartikeya in the womb of wife of Lord Shiva, and now he has been born in the womb of Jambavati, the most enriched wife of Krishna. Purport. Lord Shiva, one of the three qualitative incarnations of the personality of Godhead, is the plenary expansion of the Lord. Kartikeya, born of him, is on the level of Pradyumna, another son of Lord Krishna. When Lord Sri Krishna descends into the material world, all his plenary portions also appear with him to exhibit different functions of the Lord. But for the pastimes at Vrindavan, all functions are performed by the Lord's different plenary expansions. Vasudeva is a plenary expansion of Narayana. When the Lord appears as Vasudev before Devaki and Vasudev, he appeared in his capacity as Narayan. Similarly, all the demigods of the heavenly kingdom appear as associate of the Lord in the forms of Pradyumna, Samba, Uddhav, etc. It is learned here that Kamadeva appeared as a Pradyumna, Kartika as Sam, and one of the Vasu as Uddhava. All of them served in their different capacities in order to enrich the pastimes of Krishna.
Okay. So भक्तों से संबंध है ना. जाम्बवती is the dear wife of Krishna. Samba means Amba. ये जो सांबा था ये अपने माता से बहुत आसक्त था, हमेशा उसके साथ आता, इसलिए उसका नाम सांबा हो गया. और क्योंकि जाम्बवती भगवान से बहुत क्लोज रानी है जाम्बवती. Therefore Vidura is asking about Jambavati or Samba because he सामने ही I think Lakshmana, दुर्योधन की पुत्री लक्ष्मणा को he took away by force. There was a fierce fight also, but Yadus brought the Samba. So therefore they knew that what is the relationship of Samba with Krishna. So he is inquiring about the Samba. Shemam cha kachit yudhana aste yap palguna labdha dhanurahasya lebenja sadoksha jaseva eva gatim tadiyam yadi bhirdurapam. पढ़िए.
Lord,
हाँ पढ़िए.
O gentle one, does Shamba fare well? He exactly resembles the son of personality of Godhead. In a previous birth, he was born as Kartikeya in the womb of the wife of Lord Shiva. Now he has been born in the womb of Jambavati, the most enriched wife of Krishna. Purport.
ये हो गया ना हमारा, ये हो गया ना.
Yes. True. Sorry. Oh, does Yudhan fare well? He learned the intricacies of the military art from Arjuna and attained the transcendental destination, which is very difficult to reach even for great renouncers. purport. The destination of
The purport, sorry.
The destination of transcendence is to become the personal associate of the personality of Godhead, who is known as Adokshaja, he who is beyond the reach of the senses. Renouncers of the world, the sannyasis give up all worldly connections, namely family, wife, children, friends, home, wealth, everything to attain the transcendental bliss of Brahman happiness. But Adokshaja happiness is beyond Brahman happiness. Empiric philosophers enjoy a transcendental quality of bliss by philosophical speculations on the supreme truth. But beyond that pleasure is the pleasure enjoyed by Brahman in his eternal form of the personality of Godhead. Brahman bliss is enjoyed by living entities after liberation from material bondage. But Brahman, the personality of Godhead, enjoys eternally a bliss of his own potency, which is called Hladni potency. The empiric philosopher who studies Brahman by negation of the external features has not yet learned the quality of Hladni potency of Brahman. Out of many potencies of the omnipotent, there are three features of his internal potency, namely Samvit, Sandhini, and Hladni. And in spite of their strict adherence to the principles of Yam, Niyam, Asan, Dhyan, Dharana, and Pranayam, the great yogis and jnanis are unable to enter into the internal potency of the Lord. This internal potency is, however, easily realized by the devotees of the Lord by the dint of devotional service. Yudhana achieved this stage of life just as he achieved the expert knowledge in military science from Arjuna. Thus, his life was successful to the fullest extent from both the material and spiritual angles of vision. That is the way of devotional service to the Lord.
तो प्रभुपाद जी कोई भी चांस देते नहीं है, स्पेस छोड़ते नहीं है भक्ति के ग्लोरिफिकेशन के लिए, फिलोसॉफिकल क्लैरिफिकेशन के लिए, because there is a world of supreme destination. What is the word here? Supreme destination. Immediately people may say supreme destination can be what? Brahman. No, Prabhupada said supreme destination is what? Personal relationship with Krishna. This Yudhan achieved what? Personal relationship with Krishna, and more than that is a personal relationship with the devotees of Krishna. That is the supreme destination. Not even seeing Krishna is the supreme destination. What is the supreme goal of our life is to have the relationship with the Krishna's dear devotees, Brajvasis, Navadipvasis. Whatever tapasya, jap, tap, what we are doing, to become their servant, not even direct Krishna's servant, which is not good also. So that is attained by Yuyudhan, because he was the servant of Arjuna. Somebody has raised some hand.
Probably when Kartikeya appears as Samba, then who functions as Kartikeya?
Who comes as a?
When Kartikeya comes as Samba, then who does the functions of Kartikeya?
No, they can expand in many forms. Like one Narad Muni coming as Seva, so he is also there. So Prabhupada says that Krishna's devotee can also have expansions by the mercy of Krishna. Like Narad Muni is presenting in Srivas Leela also, and he is there in Vaikuntha also. Okay? So these things happen simultaneously. Okay. Kaschit Buddha Swastya Maniva Aste Shapkalpa Putro Bhagavat Prapannaha Yah Krishna Di Ankita Marga Pansu Acheshta Prema Vivinna Dhairya.
Please tell me whether Akrura, the son of Swapalka, is doing well. Yes. He is a faultless soul surrendered unto the personality of Godhead. He once lost his mental equilibrium due to his ecstasy of transcendental love and fell down on the dust of a road which was marked with the footprints of Lord Krishna. When Akrura came to Vrindavan in search of Krishna, he saw the footprints of the Lord on the dust of Nandagram and at once fell on them in ecstasy of transcendental love. This ecstasy is possible for a devotee who is fully absorbed in incessant thoughts of Krishna. Such a pure devotee of the Lord is naturally faultless because he is always associated with the supreme pure personality of Godhead. Constant thought of the Lord is the antiseptic method for keeping oneself free from the infectious contamination of the material qualities. A pure devotee of the Lord is always in company with the Lord by thinking of him, yet in the particular context of time and place, the transcendental emotions take a different turn and thus breaks the mental equilibrium of the devotee. Lord Chaitanya displays a typical example of transcendental ecstasy as we can understand from the life of this incarnation of God.
एक मिनट. So, सफल स्वकल्प, यहाँ पे प्रभुपाद जी बोलते हैं, this ecstasy is possible for the devotee is fully absorbed in the incessant thoughts of Krishna. Like we have example of Lord Nityananda, Madhavendra Puri, Seva Thakur, Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur. They have naturally such ecstasy. So once Haridas Thakur was dancing and he fainted. So one Brahmin also thought, I will also get some adoration. Because all the people, they were also, they glorified Haridas Thakur for such thing. So then one Brahmin, one sapera kar raha tha, so Brahmin also was dancing, but people bait him actually. Then he said, why are... He said, because you are cheating. Haridas Thakur was not cheating. He was naturally remembering Krishna and he fainted. But you are trying to imitate and get the name and fame. So that we should not do. No cheat imitation. The ecstasy is possible for the devotees fully absorbed in the incessant thought of Krishna. Otherwise, not. So therefore, we can hear about such pastime, adore the pastime, love the pastime, but never try to imitate. Now very few verses are remaining, and there are not much purports also. So that will be covered in a 15 to 20 minutes, not now. Next session we will easily cover. Correct, Anushabu. And the next chapter is also not a very big chapter.
Yes, please.
So we have 2 lectures now, correct? We are not below the speed. We are on the time, correct? Next chapter is slow, and we have 2 more sessions. Tomorrow and 1 more Saturday, right? Next Saturday.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay? So, Srila Prabhupada ki Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vancha kalpatu vecha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo ananta koti vaishnava bhaktavranda ki jai. So, you want to give any announcement? You continue, I will leave.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
So, just one information that recording for the last 2 classes is not yet uploaded by BVRV, I think, because some process is changed. They are asking us to fill Google form. So I had filled that form 2 days back, but I think now they are processing it together. So you can keep checking the playlist. You'll get the recording. Title also they are changing. They are putting batch name, BV, SAP, and just the date. I requested them that we need unit number and session number, which will help us to track which session we want to be here.
Yes, great, thanks.
Okay, Sunday exam will be there. Saturday class. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Since यज्ञ is going on at your place,
25th को तो मतलब जैसे फिर 24th को भी सेवा होती है हमारी, मतलब एक दिन पहले होती है.
I could not hear. Can you repeat?
हरे कृष्णा. हरे कृष्णा. प्रभु जी जैसे हमारी गार्लैंड सेवा होती है तो वो ना एक दिन पहले होती है. जैसे 25th के लिए 24th को बनेगा तो फिर मेरी तो सेवा रह जाएगी.
मुझे आवाज बहुत लो आ रहा है. 1 सेकंड.